Hey guys, Drew here over at Rev Hiker Outdoors once again, and I want to bring to you today a video about an option for an ultralight hammock tarp. Now, hammock tenting, or hammock camping is not always the lightest. You can definitely go lighter if you're on the ground, but due to my back problems, it has, for me, become worth it to carry the extra weight for the comfort that I get on my back, because you know, what good is it if I wake up the next morning on the trail and I can't hike no matter how light my pack is because my back hurts so bad. So I wanted you guys know that I like doing inexpensive stuff, and I like doing some do-it-yourself stuff. So this is one example of that. This is called like an eco green painter's drop cloth. I got it at Lowe's for like $3.50. And then I bought a roll of duct tape for another $3.50, bought the cheap stuff. So I did this whole thing for about $7-8. That's duct tape and the tarp. Now my problem was I had a nylon poncho tarp, but it just was not big enough in any kind of weather, any kind of rain or anything, for the hammock. And just in case you're wondering, I've got an Eno single nest. So anyway, what I'm going to do is kind of take you around and show you some of the strengths and some of the weaknesses of this kind of tarp. So let's check it out. So one of the first strengths about this thing is obviously the size. You can actually see through it a little bit, and you can see where my hammock is. So it's got a ton of coverage. Now this brings me to a good point. This is one of the weaknesses of this setup, and you can see that right there. That there is some duct tape. I had to put that on because as I was building this thing, I snagged it on a piece of furniture. It's actually a toy of one of my daughter's toys, and bang, got a rip in it. So these things are certainly not as sturdy as something like even very thin sil nylon, but they're huge. You can see the kind of coverage I have once you get down in there, and once you lay in this thing, there's a lot more space in there. And I pitched this back side quite a bit steeper because that's where the majority of the wind is coming from. And really, if I wanted to, I could pitch this front side, I could pitch it out more like this, you know, in nice weather, or if I just wanted extra room. But you know what's nice is this thing throws out a huge footprint, and there's tons of room for gear and anything else that you can hang right underneath, or you can hang it right from the ridge line, which you can see, just some 550 cord for the ridge line. Now as far as construction of this thing, there's a lot of videos that show you in depth how to do it, but I'll just give you the quick way. Basically, you cut this thing to size, which I trimmed about 6 or 8 inches off of both of the sides, so it's less than 12 feet now. But anyway, this thing turns out to be 9 by 12 when you buy it. Mine right now is 9 by about 11, or thereabouts. I actually did trim a little bit off the side, so it's a little less than 9. But anyway, you just put your duct tape all along the perimeter, all the way around. And then what I also did is put a strip going down the center line that was supposed to fit, move it over a little bit, supposed to fit right on the ridge line, but that's not that big a deal. And then I reinforced wherever the guy out points were going to be. I just did a large triangle and did several layers to keep that. Did the same thing in the corners. Now you guys can see I put this together quick, and I didn't even have the duct tape on the same side. This is actually on the back side, so it doesn't really matter. It's just how you want it to look. But for the guy outs, I think you can see this outline here about how far it goes back. Anyway, I took a strip of duct tape about 6 inches long, and I folded it 3 times to get this width, or 4 times. And so there was no sticky side. It was just all the backing facing out. And then you just put it on here with enough to grab, and then you just tape it in, one from each side and then one down the center. And that has seemed to hold up pretty good. I've got a good amount of tension on this, and they haven't they haven't torn or anything. Now the reason you put it on the perimeters is to keep everything from stretching too badly. So that's why the perimeters are taped, because you don't want this thing getting all bent out of shape. So anyway, this is kind of my version of the you know, kind of a do-it-yourself tarp, and it's not super light, but it's light enough, and it packs down decent enough. I mean, obviously it's somewhat see-through, so if that's a big concern for you, you know, for getting changed or doing whatever, then you might want to consider something else. But the green does obscure a lot, and honestly, the places where I'm actually going to be hiking with this are going to be out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to have anybody creeping up on my campsite, so I'm not worried about that. I will go over some things on the suspension of the actual hammock, because I you know, kind of had some trial and error with this. What I'm using now are some light duty ratchet straps for my truck, but what happened was I was trying to double and triple paracord, and you know, if the paracord has any kind of damage to the sheath of it and it gets rubbed on the tree or this or that, it's kind of prone to breaking. And after falling one too many times, I said, well, I just have to go to a strap. I was trying to keep the weight low, but apparently I'm too fat for even paracord. So anyway, let's go underneath this thing and see kind of how it all fits. I apologize for the shaky camera, guys. Oh, here we go. All right, so here we are, and it's really not all that bad. Usually when I lay in these things, I do it diagonal, so there we go. But yeah, you can see I've got, I don't know, probably from my face at least 2 feet, you know, till I touch, and but yeah, I really like it. It's got plenty of space. Oh, I didn't take my shoes off. Don't tell anyone. But anyway, you can see there's plenty of room. Now, because I did pitch this back side kind of steep, it would be a little close for me, you know, during sleeping. But you know, I can easily move that. So anyway, guys, if you're looking for a very lightweight, economical tarp for your hammock, this is definitely something. You guys, oh, by the way, this is 2 mils. They do sell plastic drop cloths that are a lot cheaper and a lot thinner, like 0.7 mils. So this is more than double the thickness. So for me, it's definitely worth it to go with the heavier duty plastic, because like I said, I mean, I ripped this stuff and it wasn't even that bad of a snag. So if you're the type of person that can be careful with gear and stuff like that, then this might be a good option. Also, if you're just looking to get into this without spending a ton of money and seeing what sizes are good, you can experiment with this thing. You know, start out with it big, and then you say, well, that was more than big enough. See if I can cut that down to save some weight. Go ahead and cut this thing down. You know, you're only going to lose a few bucks on it. If you find out it's too small, what do? You just go out and buy another one. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And just want to say I appreciate all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. The channel's starting to grow a little bit, and wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. Thanks. Have a good one. So I just kind of plant this right where I want it. Here we go.